Hello everybody. Today is infusion day. When the hospital called me to like set up everything, I kind of asked them what to expect because, as you guys know, I like to keep Landon informed as much as possible. So I think what it's gonna be is we're gonna go in. They have to sometimes give him some like pre-medication so he doesn't have a reaction to what he's getting. They did say that they're gonna try not to give it to him because the less medication the better, which I totally agree. But if he starts to have a reaction, they'll have to give it to him anyways. One of the things is Benadryl that they have to give him, and it completely wipes him out. Like he asleep. Anyways, what it's gonna be is we're gonna go in. It could be anywhere from like 3 hours to like all day long. It just depends on how fast they're able to do it. When we were in Anchorage, he had a lot of pain in his arms when he would get the IVs, and it wasn't like at the actual IV site. It was like up the arm, like probably like 5 inches. So we're probably going to have to do it just kind of like slow, and that's okay. It is actually New Year's Eve today. We don't have any plans because we just don't know how he's going to do. There is a few things we could go do and stay in our van, but I just don't want him to be out and about and uncomfortable. Like there's like this massive firework thing where you just kind of, I mean, you can be in your car, or you can like step out. It's very like family friendly, COVID friendly, all of that. But we just don't know how he's going to be feeling after this. And he just didn't do very well the last time. He would just have a few hours of being pretty rough feeling, and then that whole deal where he got like the crazy headache about a few days after he came off of it. So we're just playing it day by day because we just don't want him to be uncomfortable, and there's just no reason to plan all this stuff and then other kids be disappointed. I don't like that. So we're just chilling. We're gonna have some family time. We're gonna go grab some coffee and probably a breakfast, something or other, at the coffee hut, and then we will head over to the hospital. How are you doing, dude?
Good.
You feeling good?
Yeah.
You excited? What are we gonna go get? Sausage, egg, and cheese bagel?
Sausage, egg, and cheese.
All right, you ready? For about 3 hours. He's about a quarter of the way through of his medication. So we got here, we got all situated. They got the IV in. They did a bag of just normal IV solution, the saline solution. That took about an hour, and then they started the medication. They have to do this treatment really slow, and then they gradually go higher. I think what the nurse said, I could be wrong, but I think she said a normal IV is like just the normal saline that they did when he first got here was running about 500, I believe. They started him out on this medication at 8, and then they went to 16 and then 32, and they just keep doubling it until they get up only to 250. So it's still very, very slow. I imagine we'll be here for a little while. Last time when we were at Providence, he had a lot of pain in his veins, not on like the IV part of it, but like up his arm. And this time he's done really well. He just started saying he's feeling it a little bit as they get faster and faster, but nowhere near. So that is just a huge blessing right now. I think that's what he was worried about the most during all this, because he just, obviously he doesn't want to be in pain, and IVs aren't normally painful. It's just really good and such a relief, because I did talk to the doctor about possibly getting a port for him because we're going to be in here every 3 weeks, and I don't want him to like dread coming. But this is good news. Hopefully we don't end up having to get a port and he can just stay with the regular IV. My guess is the whole thing is gonna take about 5-ish hours total from like the time we got here. His grandma actually works at the hospital, so she was able to come see him and give him a hug, and it was really nice because during all this COVID stuff, they obviously are not letting a lot of visitors. I believe you can have one visitor now here at this hospital, which is so nice because going through a traumatic situation or going through anything by yourself is quite a bit harder. And so to have someone there with you, even if you're not a child. I actually went and grabbed some lunch for us. He wanted pizza, fries, and I got him a push-up. I told him he gets whatever he wants today because of what he's going through. It's about 2:15 now, so now we've been here 4 hours, but it hasn't really been going for 4 hours. We're just hanging out. There's nothing really to record other than like us sitting here. So I am going to get some editing done. It's not very happy. This medicine is very, very bubbly, so I'll update you in a little bit. He's doing good though. Last little bit of medicine and we're gonna be out of here. How was that, bud? What do you think? Yeah. We went in there, that's a, it's cold outside, my lungs are bothered, cough. We went in there, the sun came up, and the sun is now going down. But it sure is beautiful. He is doing really good. You feel good, bud?
Yeah.
It was about 5 hours, I think, total, but not too bad, so. Not too bad, huh? Pretty chill. I mean, you got to have Italian cream sodas and pizza and hang out on your iPad and watch TV.
My skin's like sealed together.
I know, it's cold. He was running through the hospital. It was so sweet. Landon started running and the nurse just like got up and started running. It was cute. Okay, let's get in. All right, so we've kind of just hung low today. We didn't really do too much. We made a nice dinner. I think I vlogged like a tiny bit of B-roll of that, but didn't really do anything with that. We just made dinner. We had burgers, we had green beans, and we had baked beans. And we just made a dinner out of it. It was pretty easy. We are trying to be really good about not eating out so much, but you know, it is also real life. So while Landon and I were at the hospital today, Natalie actually made him some brownies, which was so sweet. So we're all gonna have a sliver. It is 8:40 on New Year's Eve, so the fireworks were fantastic and a lot of fun. We're gonna cut some brownies and have a little tiny sliver and see who makes it till midnight.
Thank you.
Alright everybody, so as I said, that footage was filmed on December 31st, and to tell you the truth, I've just kind of like struggled with getting back into life, and I have just needed time to kind of heal from things and let my heart kind of open up to the idea that Landon is going to be okay while still taking care of myself. I went months and months of just running on E, and it just caught up to me, like mentally, physically, all of that, and I just kind of needed to take a step back and that's what I did. I want to update you guys on what happened after his first treatment. That night he did fantastic. He was totally fine. We were just, we were celebrating New Year's, and as I said, we stayed at home. We just made some popcorn, we watched a movie, we did our own fireworks outside, and everything was like totally fine. They ended up staying up until midnight, except for Addison. Addison did go to bed. But the rest of them stayed up till midnight, and then we all kind of just slept in a little bit the next day. So about 9 o'clock the next morning, Landon kind of started complaining of like not feeling very well, and I thought maybe because it was a lack of sleep that he had had. But within like 30 minutes, he was completely sick. He was depleted, he was nauseous, he then started throwing up, he had diarrhea. He was down for the count. It was a very rough day. There was calls to his doctor. It was New Year's Day that he was having all this stuff, so I had to call like the on-call doctor, who then had to call his doctor, because his doctor's been very involved with all of this, and they did end up prescribing an anti-nausea medication, and that made it to where he wasn't throwing up so often, which was wonderful. That whole day he was just sick and he was just low energy, and then towards the end of the night he just kind of perked up, and all of a sudden he was kind of like, all right, I'm hungry now, what can I eat? And I was like super nervous to like feed him anything, because he couldn't even keep sips of water down. The most important thing when they're going through something like that is just to keep them hydrated, and it was not staying down. I tried Gatorade, I tried water, apple juice, like just tiny. What I eventually ended up doing was just giving him capfuls of liquid at a time to try to keep him going. For a while that wasn't okay. We got the anti-nausea medication on board, and he started going longer distances. At one point he was like sick, and then all of a sudden he was like, okay, I'll build some Legos. So he had a new Lego set and he started building it, and he was like totally fine. Then all of a sudden he went in the bathroom, he threw up again, and then came back and just finished building his Lego set. And then that was the last time he had gotten sick. So like I said, by that night he was totally fine, and we just kept an eye on like how he was feeling. If he was feeling sick, we could give him some Benadryl or the anti-nausea medication. I think I did 2 more times, but he never got sick again, and that was just fantastic. So January 1st is the day that he got really sick. January 2nd, he noticed that he could go up on his tiptoes, which is something that he has not been able to do in months and months. So that was just another one of those moments. It's almost like reliving all their first times all over again, and but it's like more emotional because he's gaining that strength back. Then about a day or 2 after that, he says, look mom, and he like ran across the room, which again was just like it was obviously not like a full stride run, but there was actually a run to it, and I haven't seen him run without, this past summer was like he would try to run and it was almost like he had no strength behind it. Like he would almost like run in place. To see a run in any form at all was another like time-stopping moment that we were just so grateful for. He has since had a treatment. He had one about a week and a half ago, and that one we decided to make some changes. We did decide to give him the Benadryl before to try to help with the side effects, and then I made the decision that I wanted him to go a little bit slower on the IV, because what I had heard, that helped a lot with the side effects. So that's what we did, and he ended up having a, gosh, like a perfect IVIG treatment. We don't know if that's gonna happen every time, but I'm hoping we kind of find like a good sweet spot for him. I don't care if we have to be at the hospital for 2 days. If he doesn't have to feel those terrible side effects from it, and doesn't feel run down and all of that, that's what we'll do. It did take about 7 hours this last time from start to finish. And there was some other stuff that happened. His IV had blown, and so his arm kind of like swelled up. They had to obviously take it out and then redo another IV. And I really don't want to have to get him a port if I don't have to. Again, this last treatment, he had like almost no pain at all, which is like just amazing because, like I said, when we were in Anchorage, he was so miserable. Every time they had to turn his IV on, he was like curled over and like crying because his IV hurt. And I say IV, but it wasn't really his IV. It was like up on his bicep. I'll see if I can kind of show you. So his IV was in his arm right here, but he was having pain like up in his arm up here. My theory is just that he had some really raw nerves that were exposed, and it was just extremely painful for him because now he just doesn't have that. And that is such a blessing in itself. Now he is, oh man, he is so grateful for the medication. Even after that whole sickness deal, after that first IVIG on New Year's Eve, the next day when he was able to like go on his tiptoes and he was like able to run across the room those next few days, he was so encouraged by that. The one after that, he wasn't even really super nervous about because he knew that he was going to be gaining strength. And I was so grateful for that. So just little things to be grateful for in all of this. I'm sorry this video was so long and it took me so long to get it edited, but it's one of those sorry not sorry. I don't know, I had to wait until I was like mentally prepared, I was mentally able to handle it all, and I feel like I finally hit that. If you guys have any questions about anything else, please let me know down in the comments. I've been so out of the vlogging life. I'm either like in or I'm out. I don't know if it's like that for other vloggers, but that's how I feel. So hopefully I get back in the swing of things here. I did film a Costco haul with Lance the other day. I figured that'd be like the perfect fun vlog. I love going to Costco with Lance. He's so funny and he always he makes me laugh through the whole shopping trip. So that will be coming here and hopefully the next couple days. That's less daunting to have to edit. This one all of these have just been very hard to edit, and it's been harder and harder every time. That's why the length of time has gotten longer and longer because I dreaded editing them. We have a lot of appointments coming up just because like everything got so behind during all this. Our focus was like set on finding out what was going on with Landon. So for months, dentist appointments, doctor's appointments, all that didn't have to happen right then, did not. And so the next like month is just set up with like, I have a teeth cleaning, the kids have like, one of them has a filling, they're getting sealants, like there is some stuff that I need done. I have a very, very large, I think it's a fatty tumor on my elbow that needs to come out. It's just gotten to a point to where it's like really uncomfortable, and it's probably like, I don't know, a little smaller than a golf ball, but it's massive. So I need to get that taken out. Anyways, that's a little update. We're gonna be pretty busy with appointments. I may pick up the camera and take you guys along. I will try to keep you guys more updated and keep things a little bit lighter from here on out, hopefully. But all right, thank you guys again for always supporting our family and following us along and just being there when I go to post a video and never feeling that pressure of like I have to get a video out. I was in Adam Legg's live last night. He goes live on Instagram Live. If you ever are up late and you see that he's live, I'm most likely in there. It's just fun. It's like a small community. They are going through kind of a medical struggle as well, and he was asking like if I ever felt the pressure of like getting another video out, and I was kind of like, yeah, I felt the pressure, but it was never ever from you guys, and that to me is so nice. It was always pressure on myself because I wanted to update you guys, but there was like just a mental block of like being able to edit these videos. Anyways, This has gotten really long and pretty rabbit traily. I promise I'll get better. All right, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and we will see you in the next video. Bye.